course, you're a girls group, and it's 5 of you, so many different personalities. Tell me, like, I know you guys get into it and you know, get alone. How do you guys literally just work out your friendship within your working out your business? Because friendship does have to come first, I guess, when you're in this type of environment and for it to work. So that's my question. How is your, how do you deal with that?
Go ahead. This doesn't work.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh. Okay.
I'm also loud, so okay, that works.
No, okay. So, luckily, no one in the group. I'm not allowed to cuss. Dang. Okay. So no one in the group is a B word. Luckily, we are all great people, which is nice because we're all willing to communicate and we're all willing to change for the better of ourselves and for the betterment of this group. So luckily, we don't have anybody who's super egotistical. We don't have somebody who wants to be a star, and we don't have anybody who, you know, is ridiculously snakish. So we're all really great women who love music, and I think that that is number one that helps. And we're all really willing to hear criticism about each other. And then also alone time is really helpful for everybody. I'm not gonna lie. It's great to like have 5 minutes to like just reassess by yourself. And that helps the group, you know? And then you come back and you're like, okay, I'm ready. So that helps too.
So we gotta include our 3 C's.
3 C's.
Communication, consideration, and commitment.
One more time?
Yeah. Consideration
Communication
and commitment.
Love that.
Any more questions? Yes.
Hello. Hi, I'm Erica Latrice with Be Inspired TV. I would love to know when you knew that you wanted to be an artist. When was that moment that you had to think that you were like, you know what, I'm all in. I'm not stopping. What was that?
Well, I was always. No, I've been singing since I was really, really little. My dad is a bass player. My mom was a singer. So my whole family did music. So I was always around it. I was always into it. But I professionally started singing at the age of 12.
I don't know. I don't have an exact moment. But my dad is a musician, and he is an art connoisseur, or dilettante more like. And so when I was younger, we grew up going to museums and looking at art, whether it was visual or performing art. It was always something that I held dear. So I think growing up, you know, I drew all the time, and I looked at art, and I always watched movies, and I paid attention to cinematography. And so just like the right side of my brain was always dominant. So I think that it wasn't me like saying I want to be an artist. It was just like I like to create, and that's just a part of who I am. And so I never really said it out loud.
For me, it's kind of the same. Like, I've been around music my whole life. My dad also was in music. He was a producer, and he was in a male group. So I was always around it. I always knew that I loved it. I knew that I had talent and that I wanted to show it. But growing up, I had a very strong black woman who raised me, and education was most important to her. So it really wasn't until I graduated college where I was like, okay, I got my degree under my belt. Now I can take music, you know, full throttle. But I was always doing it part-time, but it wasn't until I graduated college where I was like, okay, now let's get serious.
Well, same. I started singing when I was 2 years old, performing since I was 4, and then professionally doing it when I was 5. My parents met singing, and then they made me. So I definitely always did it. Everybody on my father's side sings. My mother is the only one, and maybe a couple of my aunties that sing, but yes, most definitely.
I actually didn't want to be a singer. I wanted to be a doctor, an OBGYN.
Please, Ashley came out of the womb like, Lord.
Well, I knew I could sing, but the industry wasn't something that I was very in love with, only because it was so hurtful to me. I was told once that I was too dark-skinned for a label. I was told that I was never right, my voice was too big for my young age. So to me, education was most important. And once I graduated from UC Berkeley, I was like, God keeps calling me to this particular this place. I'm meant to do something. And then I was on X Factor, and I touched so many people when I was on that show when I sang I Will Always Love You. So it's almost like God is telling me this is what you're meant to do. So when I did Chasing Destiny, everything just lined up because I'm in a group with so many other beautiful women who have integrity, who have dignity, who really, really believe in the power of black women and the power of black people. So I know that everything happens for a reason, and this is where we're all meant to be. So that's my story about music.
Can I throw it at you? That was powerful.
Thank you.
And that'll be the last question. You're good. No, you're good.
So what would you say to those young girls? Because I can relate to that a lot. Like, oh, you're beautiful.
Right.
So, for one, like, how have you been able to overcome, still show up in confidence, and what advice would you give to other young girls about?
Well, my secret was I prayed a lot, and I grew up in the church, and I stayed in the church singing, and I have a family and a support system who always tells me, they never fail to tell me, you're beautiful, you are this, you are that. So that village that was around me was enough for me to believe in myself, as well as the color of dark-skinned women, as well as light-skinned women. Like, we can't pit each other against one another. And unfortunately, social media is, I won't say it's tearing us apart, but it's giving this false representation of what a woman is who is black. So I would have to tell those young girls, just believe in yourself. Speak to yourself in the mirror and affirm you are beautiful. You are this. Whatever you feel you want to be, tell yourself that you are that, and you'll believe it. Words are powerful. They are so, so powerful. So your mind will trick you into thinking this is what you are, and that's what it is.
And frankly, everybody needs a little more chocolate. I'm just being real. Like,
Nah, that's a fact. That's not even
the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and that's just life.
Ladies, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank y'all so much.